to the MVP Racing Hot Hatch Cup, and I haven't been able to live stream this for a while, to be honest with you guys. So I think I should be able to get this championship of the Hot Hatches done today. Fingers crossed. So yeah, let me just quickly share this. And I did actually do this race a while ago. Not that I remember it, because it was quite a while ago. But unfortunately we had an issue with the audio, so for some reason you couldn't hear me. But let me just quickly share this onto the group, and I shall be starting the race. Okay. Okay then, so I think we are ready to go. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me any differently, because I do now have a new mic, so hopefully I may sound a little bit crisper or clearer. If that's a positive thing for you guys, you might want to hear less of my voice, probably. I do natter on quite a bit on these commentaries. Right, let's get ready for the race, and we'll go through the grid. Okay, so let's get that to the start. I am not prepared at all. Driver names on, race info on. Right, so on pole position is MVP KBE36. Alongside him on the front row is MVP Deno. Then we've got MVP Pants and Stu Shelton on row 2. West and Frowny on row 3. Brian and Pilo round out the grid. So we'll go to KB on the front row, as we have got 5 red lights. We'll about to light up here as engine notes begin to rise here. 2, 3, 4, 5 lights here. Lights go out and we're racing. It looked like a good reaction time there from MVP Pants, but he hasn't got the best traction off the line there by the looks of things. But so he didn't manage to get alongside MVP Deno on the front row. But it will be KB that leads the way here ahead of MVP Deno. Then we've got MVP Pants, Stu Shelton there in 4th. West looking to go round the outside, couldn't quite get it done. Brian in 6th. Then comes Frowny looking towards the inside of Brian as we come into turn number 2 for the first time. And oh, there's a little bit of contact there. MVP Deno going extremely defensive on MVP KB, and Stu Shelton swings it round the outside of MVP Pants. Will now have the inside line through the left-hander. MVP Pants will not give up though, will look towards the inside, can't get it done. West is now looking to go round the outside of the hairpin, can't get that done, but Stu Shelton round the outside of turn 2, what a move. West is now looking towards the inside as well. We come through this long left hand. They're side by side is West and MVP Pants. They just about give each other the room, and West is still side by side with his rival, and MVP Pants will now have the inside line for this final couple of corners, and I think we'll just about hold on to West, slotting in just behind it there in 5th. But it is KB that leads the way here ahead of MVP Deno. Stu Shelton is in 3rd. Then we've got MVP Pants in 4th. Then we've got West in 5th. Frowny 6th. Pilo 7th. And Brian is in 8th. Let's go up the grid. Pilo was looking towards the inside. I don't know if he's going to make a move into turn 1. I don't think so this time around. Maybe just showing his nose, just saying, I'm here. I'm getting up all in your mirrors, so don't you make a mistake, because I will be taking advantage of Frowny looking towards the inside of turn 2 on West, but when swoops round the outside and just about holds on. A little bit of a half-hearted attempt there from Frowny, and West is not gonna allow him to get through that easily. The 4-8 of West sitting there in 5th. MVP Pants in 4th, Stu Shelton in 3rd, and MVP Deno in 2nd. KB is starting to stretch his legs. Once again, they're in P1. Oh, that was wide there from MVP Pants. He put a wheel on the grass. Is he going to be under pressure here from West, the number 4-8, trying to challenge the number 88, but can't get close enough. And actually MVP Pants didn't lose too much to Stu Shelton that time, but that's a bad run there from MVP Pants. Here comes the opportunity for West. As we sit here in the section, he now looks towards the outside. I don't think he's going to be able to go all the way around the outside. Surely not into turn one, but what he might do is he might put MVP Pants out of position here through turn one. Oh, he is maybe trying to look around the outside. No, not this time around. And he doesn't put MVP Pants too much out of position to have to defend too much for this right-hander. We now head towards it now. But no challenges into turn two. That was very close. I think there might have even been contact there through turn two, but everyone comes out of it unscathed. West is looking like he really wants this position here. That was actually wide there from MVP Pants, and West is all over the rear bumper here of MVP Pants. We're going to look on board here with MVP Pants, looking back at West and up the inside. That's Pilo through on Frowny and up into sixth spot. What a move from Pilo, very opportunistic, and slots into sixth spot does Pilo. MVP KB 36 is stretching his head. MVP Deno is under a little bit of pressure from Stu Shelton, but under masses of pressure. MVP Pants has now got himself a bit of breathing space between himself and West, and West is now actually under pressure here from Pilo. Pilo looking to go around the outside maybe through turn one. Will he swing it round the outside through turn one? Not this time around. West breaks a little bit deep though, and Pilo is looking for the switchback. Will he get alongside? He is alongside. He will get the inside line, and I'm sure that will be P5. And Frowny looking to challenge as well through turn two. Oh, there's contact between Frowny and Pilo. Pilo goes off the circuit. Pilo goes off the circuit. Frowny realises the contact that he's caused and drops in behind. That was disappointing there for Pilo. He was looking for a move up into fifth place on West, and Frowny has just missed his breaking point, trying to follow him through, and is just run into the back of him. But great sportsmanship, from Frowny, and waits up for Pilo to slot in behind him. But after that contact, it spread out a little bit, but MVP Pants has now actually, with the battling that's gone on behind him, has now been able to focus on in front and has closed up to the back of Stu Shelton here. Of course, this is the feature race, so there will be pit stops at some stage. They have to go on to, I believe, so they have to go on to the mediums at some point, which Pilo is doing now. He's coming off the soft tyres onto the mediums, and then they'll have to go back onto the soft tyres. 3 laps on the mediums are required. You can do more if you really want to, but there is definitely not any advantage from doing that. So every single driver you will see doing 3 laps on the mediums, unless they can't count, because KB has been seen to do 2 laps. I just thought I'd slip that into conversation there. Right. And if KB does that, he will definitely lose his lead, so let's hope he doesn't do that, because you will be disqualified if you don't do the required 3 laps on the slower tyre. Here comes MVP Pants, trying to challenge Stu Shelton, looking towards the outside. Surely he's not going to be able to go all the way around the outside of this final right-hander. No, he doesn't, but MVP Pants is going to get the switch back though, and is going to get a good run. They're going to be side by side through the left kink, and MVP Pants will have the inside line towards the first corner, side by side. MVP Pants on the inside, Stu Shelton on the outside, and a better run there from MVP Pants. So I think this is going to be a slam dunk unless MVP Pants outbrakes himself into the braking zone now, and I think that is job done there from MVP Pants for the time being. But Stu Shelton will be looking to challenge back. He's in the slipstream, he's in the tow. Stu Shelton, will he look to the inside line into turn 2? Yes he does, but can't get enough alongside. But actually MVP Pants got a bad run there through the right hand. I think that was just he was distracted through his mirrors, and Stu Shelton is all over the back of him, looking towards the outside, maybe through the hairpin, but that isn't going to work. But maybe he's going to get a good run as we now swing towards a long left-hander. But Stu Shelton isn't close enough to make a challenge into there, but it is very difficult to make a challenge into there. Here is where it's easiest, but MVP Pants is going to cover the inside line, I am sure. No, he doesn't, he decides not to, but Stu Shelton, darting around all over the place, really wants that position, but doesn't challenge as of yet. MVP Pants holds on to third place. We look back at Stu Shelton. We can also see the other cars in the distance there as well. It's all quite spread out. These are the only two that really actually in any sort of battle here. And MVP Pants is just about holding on to this third place, but for how much longer? That's a bad run there. He missed the apex there slightly, but Stu Shelton can't capitalise at the moment. Through this right-hander, and MVP Pants just holding that advantage just slightly. It's a little bit more comfortable here. Stu Shelton isn't hustling the rear end of the AlphaTauri Honda Civic, the AlphaTauri liveried Honda Civic, and that was actually a bad run through the hairpin from Stu Shelton, so that has given MVP Pants a little bit more breathing space, which he'll be very happy with. And that's another bad run, a lot of understeer there from Stu Shelton, so maybe he's starting to struggle with a bit of front tyre wear. Will we see any drivers coming into the pits at the end of this lap? There's LS Deno. He's not actually too far ahead of these two, so any sort of decent sized mistake, as KB is in, any decent sized mistake from LS Deno, and he will have the two drivers behind him starting to close up. We got West there in the net P5. Obviously KB is in, so too is now Frowny. There is KB getting his pit stop, number 77. Is it 3 times or 4 times BGWT winner? That is coming up soon, so stay tuned. I will hopefully be trying to do those videos a lot more regularly and a lot more closer to the date that they're actually happening. Obviously this championship ended quite some time ago. Pilo is in from his mediums and will be changing back onto his softs to the end of the race. MVP Deno, LS Deno leads away, MVP Pants in second. Stu Shelton is starting to be edged out by MVP Pants, but MVP Pants is actually closing in by the looks of things. Oh no! That's MVP Pants gone! Clipped the grass on the outside and goes for a half spin, hits the wall on the left hand side as well. And that is certainly not what MVP Pants would have wanted. It was looking so good, he was chasing down, he was edging in. MVP Deno clips a wheel on the grass, round he went. And that is MVP Pants down into 5th. It was looking so good for him, but he's had a disaster. MVP Deno is in, Stu Shelton is in, West is in, and Brian is in. Okay, Deno's already out on his medium tyres. Stu Shelton will be coming out now, and everyone's a bit spread out, so I shall just quickly go through the field. Obviously MVP Pants, the only driver yet to stop in this race so far, so he'll probably be stopping at the end of this lap. Then we've got MVP KB, our race leader, leading by quite some margin now over MVP Deno. They're in 3rd. Stu Shelton has had a bit of a slow pit stop, so I don't know if his pitting was a little bit messy, but West is a lot closer than he was to Stu Shelton. Then we got Brian there in 6th, ahead of Frowny there in 7th, and Pilo has also stopped a 2nd time, so he is completely out of sync from these drivers. But he is holding there in 8th. Frowny is starting to edge in though on Brian. And I think Brian had one hell of a race last time out at in the changeable conditions from memory. He completely outperformed from memory all the other drivers on slick tyres. I think he was on slick tyres and everyone else was on slick. Oh, there was another 3 drivers on slicks and he completely outperformed them, kept it out of trouble, and unfortunately did beat any of the drivers on the wets on the inters. But he did drive very, very well there, as MVP Pants is now out of the pits and will slot into 7th spot. So he's got some work to do, because that is a net P7 unless Pilo is ahead of him as well. But MVP Pants has a lot of work to do after his little moment, or big moment shall we say, clipping the grass and spearing straight towards the barrier on the inside of that long left hand. Let's go up the field, because Stu Shelton is being closed as well by West. So we keep an eye on the battle for 3rd and 4th, and we also got to keep an eye on the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. Those are the battles that are happening this race so far. I think MVP Deno is on his own, and so too is KB. So we'll keep an eye on these two battles. West is not quite close enough to Stu Shelton, but it's coming. Frowny is not quite close enough to Brian. KB is now in from his medium tyres. So he'll now be going on to the softs to the end. Everyone's sort of a little bit spread out. Frowny is looking a bit under pressure here. Well, not quite under pressure, but it's being definitely closed by MVP Pants, and he's closed up on Brian. So those three are submerging on each other. West is getting closer and closer to Stu Shelton. I just don't know where to look at this moment, because they're all submerging, and I don't want to miss an overtake here, as West is looking very, very close, but MVP Pants is looking even closer to Frowny. He is tucked up right in the slipstream of Frowny, and we'll be looking to make an overtake, maybe into the hairpin, or will Frowny cover it as they go through the double left-hander here? Will he make the move into the hairpin? He shows his nose, but doesn't quite go for it, but that's going to allow him to be susceptible for the overtake on the exit. Frowny has got the job done, is up into 5th spot. Sorry, MVP Pants has got the job done and is up into 5th spot. Sorry. West is still not close enough to Stu Shelton, so we go back to this battle here, because Frowny might try and challenge back, but he's not quite close enough. But MVP Pants is now diverting his attention to Brian. That's a very good corner there actually from MVP Pants. Had it right tucked into the apex very nicely, as Brian now comes in, and so does Frowny. So now MVP Pants has to go like crazy to see if he can jump them in the pit stops. Deno in, Stu Shelton in, West in, Brian in, and Frowny in. Let's see also where they all come out in respect to Pilo. Deno is out the pits, and so too is Stu Shelton. West is there, not too far behind. Brian is coming out now, and so too is Frowny. So unfortunately, Pilo is in the net P8, unfortunately, for him, after what looked quite promising for battling for 5th spot with West. And MVP Pants will be trying to go like crazy to try and gain as much advantage in this clear over as possible. KB is in a world of his own, so too is MVP Deno. So Stu Shelton is the closest battle here with West, and Brian has got a decent margin over himself and Frowny at the moment. So this is the closest battle. Of course, we will see where MVP Pants comes out, because he'll be very, very close to Brian and Frowny. Obviously, he has been on the harder tyres, the less optimal tyres, but the other thing is the other drivers will have cold tyres, and it's all about how much confidence they have to lean on those tyres until they switch on. But MVP Pants is now in the pits. Stu Shelton and West is still just a little bit distant. I don't know if West is able to close that gap actually at all here, or if he's just hanging on. But MVP Pants coming out the pit, and it's going to be very close between himself and Brian. Brian is closing up. Brian's up the inside, and he's up into 5th spot. But MVP Pants is going to try and get him straight back again on the exit. MVP Pants on the inside line into turn 2. We'll be side by side into turn 2. We'll have the inside line, and you can't really go around the outside of turn 2. And MVP Pants gets up into 5th, but Brian's got a good exit and is looking for the switchback, looking to go all the way around the outside of the double left-hander. We'll now have the inside line for the hairpin. Inside the line for the hairpin. Brian gets up into 5th spot, back again, but MVP Pants is not done yet. There's a good stop at the apex there from Brian, but MVP Pants going all the way out the outside. We'll now have the inside for the long left-hander, but Brian's trying to get the switch back again. He's a little bit laggy though, is Brian, but he's trying to challenge back. MVP Pants will have to surely defend. I don't think Brian's close enough though. There's a little bit of breathing space between the two of them. MVP Pants is up into 5th. Frowny now trying to challenge Brian into the final couple of corners. Can't get the move done. That's a little bit wide there from Brian on the exit. But there is no challenge from Frowny as of yet. We're now going to go up the field, and West is still trying to close up on Stu Shelton, but it isn't quite close enough. We'll go back to this battle for 5th spot, as Brian, I don't know if he was looking for the move there. It's very difficult to see exactly where he is with a little bit of lag. But now Brian, I think, is now starting to divert his attention to his mirrors here, because Frowny is now on the back of him as they go through this through the right hander, now through the double left. There's a little bit wide line there from Brian, and Frowny is looking to take advantage here into the hairpin. He's got a shallow line here, and Frowny is looking towards the inside. I think there was even a moment or there was contact on the apex, but Brian just about holds on. Through the long left-hander, and Frowny is starting to probably get a little bit more impatient here. We have just got about 2 minutes to go here, and Frowny is looking towards the outside into the final corner. Oh, is he going to go all the way around the outside? Surely not. The camber does not really go for you. Round the outside, he tried it, and it didn't work this time around, and now, because he's so much further behind, I don't think there's going to be a challenge into turn 1. But can he pressure Brian into covering it slightly, which will make him more susceptible from an overtake into turn 2? Not at the moment. West is still just got that little bit of gap between himself and Stu Shelton. Last lap, there was a tenth between them. Frowny is still looking to... Oh, that's a big corner cut there from Frowny. Almost cutting the grass there on the inside, but it was actually a bit of a moment, and that's allowed a bit of breathing space there from Brian. But if you miss the apex like that through the beginning of the hairpin, that is not going to help you at all in your chances. Brian is under pressure here, but Frowny is making mistakes as well, and it's allowed him a little bit of breathing space as MVP Pants starts to waltz away from these two. What could have been for MVP Pants if he didn't have that moment on the exit of the long left-hander? Would he be challenging for second? Could he be challenging for the victory? I don't know, with MVP KB's pace out front, but he certainly, I reckon, would have been challenging LS Deno for the second spot on the podium. Here is the battle for third place, or wait, hold on, West has gotten through. I've missed something here. Hold on, let me just go back a couple of clicks, see where that happened. Okay, so it all happened at the start of the hairpin. Stu Shelton was having a cover here as they now head into the long left-hander. So West is on the outside. He's trying to go all the way around the outside. This is great racing here. Stu Shelton gives him just about enough room, which is now going to allow West to have the inside line into the hairpin, and will get third place. So West, it didn't look like he was looking close enough to challenge for a long time, and has now got the place back. We're now going to skip 3 ahead, because that's how far we were. We did skip back. So West into third spot. What a move there from West. What great racing as well. Stu Shelton just giving him just about enough room through the long left-hander. Not squeezing him onto the grass, just giving him that car width, and then West was able to get the move done into the final couple of corners at last braking zone of the circuit. But we will be coming to the end of the race. We are on the final lap here. Let's see how close Brian and Frowny are. They are quite close here, but KB wins here for the feature race and sets the fastest lap in the process. Second place will be MVP Deno, and I really want to see where Brian and Frowny end up. MVP Deno will end up in second place. West will have a great move at the end in third. Stu Shelton in fourth. Then comes MVP Pants, and all this side by side in the background. Frowny versus Brian. Frowny versus Brian. Who's going to get there? It's Brian just about to Frowny there in seventh. Then Pilo will come home in eighth, and I'll see. Hold on a second. We've got to see what that gap was. Oh no, I don't know if I can see it. I can't see the what the gap was. Oh, you need to be able to access that. But that is the race. Congratulations to KB, who wins it. And it was in second LS Dano, and third place was West.